Hey up everybody, how you all doing? Welcome back to my channel, or hello if it's your first time here. I'm Wayne, I'm glad you could join me. Hold me hand through this little journey through learning everything USA. Because I need all your suggestions coming through, it'll help me on the way. But yeah, there's loads come through so far, so I've got loads of suggestions to do. But this one today is from Joey Blue, BOATLIFT. I want to say Boatface then. BOATLIFT, the Untold Tale of 9/11 Resilience. Before we start, I want to say, listen, if there's anybody watching this that knows people or had family members, my heart goes out to you. It's by far one of the worst things in any of our lives at the minute, isn't it? Yeah, Jesus, I remember when it all went off. Absolutely crazy, mental. I don't know, the world hadn't really been the same since then, has it, to be fair? Yeah, I've watched loads of documentaries, whether it be like proper documentaries about what actually happened, blah blah blah, and conspiracies about it as well. Again, I don't know what I believe and what happened. I really don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think happened. Was it a conspiracy or what? I really don't know, and I'm not really going to comment that here. But yeah, I hope there's no wrong wording in this as well. Tragedy. I hate it when it's called like the worst tragedy on American soil or whatever. No, let's call it what it is. It was a massacre. If the building just collapsed because, I don't know, the foundations rusted over time or whatever, and it just collapsed on its own, tragedy, absolute tragedy. Family driving home and accidentally crashing, entire family wiped out, tragedy. Someone driving an aeroplane purpose into a bloody giant building, that is not a tragedy, absolute not a tragedy. Massacre. So I'm hoping that is a tragedy in this. Other than this, I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, I hope you guys are well. And as I say, absolute. We can say travesty. That's completely different to tragedy, isn't it? Absolute travesty, the entire thing. But yeah, as I say, my heart goes out to anybody that may be watching this that knows of people, or you know, my heart goes out to the American people. Right, let's get on with it. Enough rabbiting about that. I'm apprehensive, is that the right word I'm looking for? Quite nervous about watching this on camera, if I'm honest. A hero, man who does right. A hero is a man who does what he can. Remain Roland. Oh. Warm tea. Hot tea.
I thought I was watching a movie. Towering Inferno at first. And then I looked real close, and I noticed it was the World Trade Center. I was compelled, because I'm a type of person that can't stand by and watch other people suffer. And to me, they were suffering. They wanted to get off the island. And there was no way for them to get off the island.
I did see, when I watched loads of footage in that, you can see people run. I'll try not to pause too much. People literally running back and forth like, what can we do? I don't know, they're just desperation in the people that you could tell wanted to help, and everything that I've seen. I think the worst documentary I watched was the Falling Man, was it? Crazy.
Other than the water. And I had noticed suffer. And to me, they were suffering. They wanted to get off the island. And there was no way for them to get off the island other than the water. And I had noticed, when I was watching the television, I saw a lot of, the ferries going up into the slips and taking people off. I said, fine, we could do the same thing. I could take people on my boat, get in there, take them where they have to go. And that's what we did.
There we go. If you've got the equipment to help, get in there and help. BOATLIFT.
On the morning of September 11th, when the towers came down, millions of people ran for safety. Hundreds of thousands of them ran south to the water's edge. That's when they realized that Manhattan is indeed an island, and that they were trapped.
Must have been terrible.
They were feeling helpless. And that's the worst feeling in the world. What was a person on the ground going to do? buildings were down. There were people laying under the rubble of the building. Firemen, civilians. My wife was there, and I turned around. I said, I have to go do something. Just like that. She looked at her. She says, what are you going to do, you maniac? I said, I'm going to take the Amberjack up to the city. She says, but what if they're attacked again? I said, well, then that's something I have to live with. I said, I have to do what I have to do. I said, nobody can stop me right now. Even if I save one person or I rescue one person, that's one person less that will suffer and die.
They were trying to evacuate Manhattan because nobody knew what was going on. You know, you didn't know if something else was going to happen. It was just, you know, a madness on one side and, you know, and wanting to help people on the other side.
They were just streaming out of the buildings. And the first mode of transportation they saw was a ferry boat. And that's when they knew, this is how I'm getting out of here. So they didn't even care where the boat was going.
There wasn't panic in New York in the beginning.
Oh, I weren't expecting the Wi-Fi to do that. I'll edit this bit out. Sorry about that, bloody Wi-Fi. It happens now and again. I can go a couple of weeks, my Wi-Fi's fine, and all of a sudden it just keeps dropping out. So hopefully it doesn't happen again. I'll have edited that out, I reckon.
So they didn't even care where the boat was going.
There wasn't panic in New York in the beginning, just volume. It wasn't until the first building fell that there was panic.
You heard the building go down, but we're in the slip, so we can't see it.
The noise that these people must have heard inside that building as it come down, it must have been so horrifying. I don't know, every documentary, everything that I've watched on 9/11, the Twin Towers, I don't know, it leaves you feeling a sort of way, doesn't it? Man, it's mad people out there. Evil.
That's when we started letting go, and then all of a sudden, engulfed. You couldn't see anything.
People were actually jumping into the river and swimming out of Manhattan. Boats were very nearly running them over.
Wait. These people wanted out of Manhattan no matter any way they could.
Somebody wants you to go there.
Every mode of transportation out of Manhattan was shut down. All the subways were shut. The tunnels were all closed. They closed the bridges. They closed everything immediately.
Boats, usually an afterthought in most New Yorkers' minds, were for the first time in over a century the only way in or out of Lower Manhattan.
Start evacuating people. Anybody can get over here. We're going to evacuate them.
The process that actually had already started. There were some boats that were grabbing people. That people were lined up at the walls.
On the left.
It's just human nature. You see people in distress on the seawall in Manhattan begging you to pick them up. You have to pick them up.
They didn't know what was going on. They seen the building getting hit with these two planes. As far as they was concerned, you know, we were being bombed. I was wondering if they were going to come on the boat, if they had people with...
But the people actually seeing it coming in, though. I don't know. If any of you guys are watching this and seeing it coming in, it must have been mental just seeing a plane that he's like, nah, he's just going to miss it, it's going to miss it. I don't know, it's craziest thing that's happened in my lifetime, I think. Yeah, there's a lot of madness going on at the minute, but I don't know, it's not something you expect to happen in life. Sadly, it did.
Bombs, or if they were going to come on, we're a big arm hit with these two planes. As far as they was concerned, you know, we were being bombed. I was wondering if they were going to come on the boat, if they had people with bombs, or if they were going to come on. We're a big orange target in the middle of that harbor. My job is to keep the boat safe, my passengers safe, my crew safe.
Everybody was in shock, running around. They didn't want to leave their families. They had loved ones running around the city.
Anybody has a baby? Nobody has it.
There was one guy ran from the apron and jumped onto the boat. He grabbed onto the metal, climbed up right next to the pilot. So I'm going out there to say something. He slides down to the next deck. So the deckhands get him and go, what are you doing? He goes, I'm jumping for my life. So, you couldn't argue with him there.
terrifying if you think that's your only choice.
There was a small boat that was at the lower tip of Manhattan. I thought the boat was going to flip over because so many people were trying to get on. And as I looked behind, they were just 10 deep. And that's kind of what gave us the idea.
We decided that this has to get better organized and we better do it, and that's what we did.
So we decided to make the call on the radio. All available boats. This is the United States Coast Guard aboard the pilot boat in New York.
Get in
want to
there,
help with
do
the
your bit.
evacuation of Lower Manhattan. Report to Governor's Island.
When that call came on the radio, they were coming.
I was uncertain
I bet they were.
of who was going to respond. About 15, 20 minutes later, they're just boats.
And I can imagine the mindset in the guys, and women if they were as well, driving the boats. That was like, damn right, I'll be there, calling America. I can imagine their mindset. I can.
All across the horizon.
Literally 100 targets converging on the lower part of Manhattan.
When we came out of that dust cloud, tugboats, I'd never seen so many tugboats all at once.
There was just like a fleet of tugboats headed to Manhattan.
If it floated and it could get there, it got there. All different size, shapes, and forms. I mean, and they were zooming across this water.
Ferries, private boats, party boats.
I worked on the water for 28 years. I've never seen that many boats come together at one time that fast. One radio call and it just came together just that fast.
Hundreds of boats converged on the city, leaving the sun-bathed harbor behind them. Dead ahead, the unknown.
That was something I won't forget. It was just low, dark, acrid, black smoke. It's like there was a big chimney in Manhattan. When we pulled into Pier 11, the dust was unbelievable.
And then out of nowhere, you just kept on seeing people coming.
They looked like zombies coming through the fog, and you knew that those were human beings.
Don't leave us. Please don't leave us here. Take us.
Some of the distance these people that survived as well, that had fallen, bouncing through the rubble. There was one story that I heard where a man survived because he was like, I don't know, there was nothing left apart from a tiny little bit that he was in, but he fell from like right at the top, but it was on some sort of partition wall or something. I don't know, but he fell on top of something. He was on it as it was falling all the time, and it kind of got trapped in a little space. I don't know. I think the most heartbreaking one that I've seen though is phone calls from the aeroplane to the family members.
Do you need help?
At that point, the Coast Guard said, not how many people are you allowed, how many people can you fit?
Does it really matter at this point?
Get your ass over here now! Now! Come on!
Boats started hanging, literally would take a bedsheet off a bunk and a can of spray paint and paint their destination on.
Some of these people never been in the water, never been on a boat before.
Housewives, workers that do windows. We had executives. And the thing that was the best, everyone helped everyone.
I want you to hold my hand. Come on.
I'll wait till the end. I was about to say something.
One at a time. Get in inside.
I saw 4 businessmen lifting up an old woman with a seeing eye dog, a German Shepherd, and they lifted her up like a surfboard and passed her over the handrails.
When we would carry a load of people over, and there was somebody standing there that seen their husband or wife, you know, that made us feel even better, you know. Well, at least we got 2 back together, you know. Just keep on going, you know.
The guy that works at the ferry, he's a welder. His son was on my boat. He actually came up. He thanked me.
We went back and forth all day long, carrying boatloads, as many as our boat would hold. And it was a lot of people. A lot of people. You couldn't have planned nothing to happen that fast, that quick.
no training. This was just people doing what they had to do that day.
You forget all about what you're supposed to do, what they teach you in school.
The everyday citizen didn't see it coming, did they? And as I was going to say, as that fella said a minute ago, there was a housewife, businessman, people all coming together. I was going to say, right, New York's got a reputation for everyone being so hard-nosed and, like, not really talking to each other, just like London, I suppose. The people that probably won't give each other the time of day in everyday life. So when something bad happens, it brings people together, nations together, peoples together. But that's the only good thing to come out of a bad situation, in it, just knowing that you've got your peoples. I don't know.
And you say, you know what? Morally, this is the right way to go. And deep down, this is what I'm gonna do.
Average people, they stepped up, and when they needed to, they showed me, you know, when the American people need to come together and pull together, they will do it.
I do feel a way honored that I was a part of it.
That was the greatest thing I ever did with my life.
The greatest day that I've ever seen in all my boating, I mean, my life on the water.
The great boat lift of 9/11 became the largest sea
did with my life.
The greatest day that I've ever seen in all my boating, I mean, my life on the water.
The great boat lift of 9/11 became the largest sea evacuation in history. Larger than the evacuation of Dunkirk in World War II, where 339,000 British and French soldiers were rescued over the course of 9 days. On 9/11, nearly 500,000 civilians were rescued from Manhattan by boat. It took less than 9 hours.
Who rescued the British and French from Dunkirk? Were that you guys? I don't know. I've heard about, I love history, but I don't know about it all. I will have learned about Dunkirk at some point, but that'd have been at school. I've been at school for quite a while now, at least a couple of years. Yeah, so thank you. Yeah, if that was you guys that helped us out there, nice one.
I believe somebody has a little hero in them. You gotta look in, and it's in there. It'll come out, if need to be.
I have one theory in life. I never want to say the word I should have. If I do it and I fail, I tried. If I do it and I succeed, better for me. And I tell my children the same thing. Never go through life saying you should have. If you want to do something, you do it.
That's right. Oh, I didn't realise that was Tom Hanks. And I learned something new a couple of days ago as well. A bit off topic here. Just I saw Tom Hanks' name. Tom's got a brother called Jim. And I didn't know that. And I thought I was having one of these, what do you call it? What are they called now? When things from the past change. I forgot what it's called now. Named after that fella. Mandela effect. People saying that Tom Hanks, it was his brother, Jim Hanks, that did the voices in Toy Story and that or whatever. I was like, what? Yeah, got a brother. But yeah, that blew my mind a little bit. I just said that because I saw Tom Hanks' name there. I didn't realise that was Tom. But yeah, that was great. I'm proud of myself. I didn't actually cry. I had tissues on standby just in case. Absolutely beautiful story to be told. But as I say, you see people on a daily basis, you might not even like each other, but when it comes down to it, nations get together. Even the peoples of a nation get together, should I say. But yeah, I enjoyed that. Like, I'm off to a comedy gig tonight, so at least I'll be cheered up a little bit after that. So yeah, no, depressing at the beginning and that, but towards the end, happy ending. If we can call it an happy ending. Just shows what type of people you are, done it all coming together, working together, using your minds, using your equipment, what you've got. None of that, oh, I can't be bothered, I'm hungry, I've been working all day. Get on with it. Rescue your fellow Americans. But yeah, I love that. That was great. If you guys enjoyed that, give us a thumbs up and put stuff in the comments for me to read and react to. And yeah, consider subscribing. That'd massively help me out. And enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you have a good one. Goodbye. Bye.